Good morning, everyone. I like to listen to the sound of that as it kind of trails off a little bit and kind of resonates in the room. I am Reverend Israel Bufardi. I use he, him for pronouns. I'm the minister here, and it's a pleasure to meet any of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting. And my first job this morning, being your minister standing up here, is to tell you exactly where you all are this morning. So here is where you are. You're sitting with a congregation that has been gathering since December of 1947. Is that correct? Anybody want to correct me? Which makes us older than the interstate highway system, older than the polio vaccine, and older than Israel, the apartheid state, and the UU minister. You are on a hill, we are all on a hill above a harbor that a glacier carved on its way out 20,000 years ago. And it is Sunday, June 14th, 2026, 5 days from when this nation celebrates Juneteenth, when we remember the news of freedom of emancipation that was held back for 2.5 years by enslavers who profited from the delay. But news that arrived anyway, eventually. We are 6 days from the summer solstice today, the longest light of the year. The sun does not ask for anyone's permission, and it turns out neither does freedom in the long run. Just remember that. So take one breath and arrive here in this place, remembering that simple fact. You made it. That's the whole test of being here this morning, and you passed. So say good morning to someone near you. Arrive. We're going to need each other today.
Thank you, Dylan. Good morning to all, and welcome to our Pride and Bridging Sunday. My name is Lee Kerfist, and I am your worship associate today. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Huntington. If this is your first time here, well, let me tell you what kind of house you've entered. This congregation is held together by a few stubborn convictions instead of a creed. Those convictions include that every person has worth, no exceptions, that nobody needs anyone's permission to identify or to exist, and that justice is love, insisting on itself in public. So if you're queer or trans, this congregation celebrates you on purpose, out loud. If you're an immigrant, whatever your paperwork says, you are our beloved neighbor, and this house knows it. And if you're carrying more questions than answers right now, well, you're in good company. Around here, questions are treated as a sign that you are paying attention. Sit or stand for the hymns as your body prefers. Step out of the worship space and come back as you need to. And after the service, there's coffee in the social hall, and there will be people who genuinely would like to meet you. Look for anyone with a name tag. Now I have a few important announcements. You're all invited to have coffee with our minister, Reverend Israel Buffardi, today after the service. Whether you are new to the congregation and would like to know more about us, or you have been here a while, please join Reverend Israel in the social hall during the potluck lunch. Look for the table at the back with the sign Coffee with the Minister. This is an opportunity to ask questions about Unitarian Universalism, our fellowship, our religious community. So grab some food, a cup of coffee or tea, and join the Reverend and a representative of the membership committee for an informal conversation. You are welcome here. Saturday, June 20th, will be Juneteenth Celebration Day in Heckscher Park in Huntington Village. Please join the Racial Justice Committee, which will have a UUFH table at the event from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. The committee would like to have volunteers at the table, and you can sign up after the service today at the Racial Justice table in the social hall. Also, feel free to grab a poster of the event that will be in the entranceway of the fellowship. Today is the Long Island Pride Parade, and you can march in the parade. The meeting place in Huntington, now pay attention, is the Girard Street public parking lot number 5. It is the green section across from the post office, and this is the official parade lineup zone. Look for the banner standing on the side of love. I'll repeat that. Huntington, downtown, across from the post office. It's parking lot number 5. And look for the banner standing on the side of love, as you've just seen. The parade kickoff time is 12 noon, so you're going to have to hurry over there right after the service. And this is really important. You cannot park in that parking lot number 5. This is just for the meetup. So after the march, you can also join the UUFH table in Heckscher Park. Some great financial news. The final tally for the 2026 auction gala is $34,000. And that's a new record. Thanks to our chairwoman, Jennifer Edwards, and her amazing team who gathered donations from local businesses, and of course, thanks to all of you who attended, who made it a very successful fundraiser. And one last quick one. Next Sunday is our annual flower communion, so please remember to bring flowers from your garden. And now is the time for our chalice lighting. And for this lighting, I would like to invite Evie and Thomas to come forward. Before there was a chalice, there was fire. People gathered around it for warmth, for stories, for the long work of not being alone. Somebody kept that fire going long before any of us arrived and made room at the hearth for whoever came next.
Somebody handed it to me, still warm, and trusted me not to drop it. Hand to hand to hand across generations, and every one of those hands carried the same yearning that love would be known in their one wild and precious life.
Every generation gets the same instructions. Keep it lit, make room, pass it on.
There it is. We kindle a chalice flame in our spaces as a way of hope that gets kindled on purpose, in company, over and over and over again. So let's sing together. I invite you all to join in singing our opening hymn. It's Come, Come, Whoever You Are. Come, but do not go to, sit down. Really, you didn't even have to stand if you didn't want to. Do not come to the potluck because we're not having the potluck. There is no potluck today. There is cake. There is cake to celebrate bridging and pride, but mostly to celebrate our bridging youth. Yes? Okay. There is cake. Come have cake. Come meet me. Come ask me questions and talk to me. But many of us will be getting over to march in the Pride Parade pretty quickly, so there's no potluck today. But anyone who wants to hang out here. We're here to do this thing that we call worship, which means that we're here to pay attention to what matters. One thing I want to draw our attention to today is this idea that every age tells you what it worships by what it builds. A few minutes ago, I described a glacier that came through here 20,000 years ago, and it built a harbor. And then life moved in, of course. Life moved in before the ice was gone. Oysters, herons, eelgrass, rock-poaching suburbanites with plastic beach buckets. Guilty as charged, by the way. A few generations of stubborn idealists built this congregation, built this room, and then this hall later, for the strangest purpose, I have to say, on Long Island, keeping love at the center of things. Love, not profit. This land could have easily held 75 townhouses, let's say. The people before us who purchased this land, who put this place here, decided that that was worth something more. And they built the one thing that the market will never fund here. And so this afternoon, however, on the front lawn of our nation's house, instead of here on this house, the most powerful man alive unveils his life's greatest architectural work. An octagon where the wealthy can watch human beings bleed for sport under a brand new triumphal arch on his 80th birthday, paid for with our tax dollars. Boo, yes. Rome at least put its Colosseum across town. This one is on our national front lawn. And the old Roman arrangement, Your Imperial Majesty, by the way, was bread and circuses. This year they cut the bread due to inflation, but I am sure that this wannabe administration will never disappoint when it comes to providing a circus for the world to watch. And they are watching. But here's the deal. 250 years into the American project, that is the monument it built itself for its own birthday party. And you all, here's the important part. Each and every one of you in this room, You had to put yourself, your body, somewhere in this country today on the most curious of days when our country is being celebrated in that way. And you carried it 250 miles away from that lawn across a whole span of a moral universe into this company, into a room of people built for blessing and putting love at the center. That's where you are. So I am here to declare, with the full prophetic institutional authority vested in me by the state of New York, that you chose wisely by being in this room to put love at the center. Because the same week that this arch was raised and we are here, our Congress, by 2 votes, funded the deportation machine through the end of the decade. $70 billion more from our collective purse doing things in our name that our grandchildren will still be repairing. Nobody in this room can fix that this morning. But what we can do, and what I am refusing to do by standing up here, is refusing to get used to it and to keep practicing the alternative. That's why you are here. Because the ledger this week is not all grim. Remember, you just remembered why you were in this room to begin with. And the garden out back is starting to come in for the food pantry. And the town of Huntington flew a pride flag over Heckscher Park this past week. And many of you in this room were there to witness it and celebrate it. And in this room, too, in this very room where we sit, in a few minutes, in a short bit, something genuinely beautiful and good is going to happen. Something genuinely beautiful. We are going to take our sweet time blessing some kids. On Friday, I was at my daughter's school, by the way, for an end-of-the-year concert. And the kids there sang for Flag Day. Happy Flag Day today, by the way. All sincerity, they sang, with no boast or brag. But I don't think the birthday party in Washington got the memo. But we've had practice with flags, too, here around in this congregation. Someone keeps taking our pride flag down, and we keep putting it back up. That's one more piece of good news. And right now there's a banner strung across Main Street in the village with this congregation's name on it for Family Pride Day. These flags are vows made in public, and we keep our vows out in front in this congregation. So if you're new to this congregation and wondering what the heck Unitarian Universalism is, don't wait for a doctrine or a list of values even. Just watch what we do with this hour in this country. Watch what we choose to spend our time paying attention to and blessing. It's Bridging Sunday. It's Pride Sunday. Love is sacred. You are all sacred and beautiful and lovable, just the way you are. That's the something good that's coming. So first, just look at yourselves. What is in this room? People who taught other people's children to ask questions for free for years. That's who you are. Let's worship together. And we're going to do that by looking at your lives now, by doing something that we call moments of the heart. It's something unique that we do in Unitarian Universalism. It's the part of the morning that belongs to your everyday lives. Somebody in this room is carrying a grief that no one can see. Sitting next to someone who is carrying joy that they can barely hold. So this is the time in ours when we come together that we stop guessing about what we carry and we bring the things to the room that we need help carrying. So if something in your life deserves to be named out loud in community, the invitation is this: to get an index card that we have in the room, and you can write down a joy, a sorrow, or a complex truth that you'd like us to read out loud, and we'll share it. You don't have to do that. You can just come up and light a candle if you want to do something in silence to mark what is on your heart. If something in your life deserves a flame, just come and light a candle. You can do that during the music now. And you can hand it to our pastoral care associate who will be up here to receive it. Who's our pastoral care associate today? We have one in the room today? We have Martha. We have Mary or Martha? Martha. Martha. Come on up. Okay, go ahead, Tom. I carry in my hands the stuff of life this morning that I'm still sorting through, but I'm going to go with this first one that I see in my hand, because this morning for bridging, our youth will get chalices as a gift, and this one card is telling us all about the chalices. We're glad to be home, so this must be from where are you? We're glad to be home with arms full of chalices from, is it Jan, the spinner in the Czech Republic. So that's where these chalices come from, and our hearts are full after a beautiful dedication and reopening of the Jewish cemetery in Lunenburg, Germany. And also a marriage of nephew Jonah and Nikki in Newburyport, Massachusetts, where the UU congregation is 300 years old. It's a beautiful old building. I've been there. Yeah. And those are our chalices come from that we'll be giving as a gift today. This card is for my father's 50th birthday, the Knicks bringing a championship to New York. So without this, there's another card here that says, "How is it that a sports team winning a championship brings people together, yet leaders of our country seem to divide? We need to do better." I'll tell you, my kid had Spirit Week or something like that at school, and I was trying to figure out why the heck are they asking them all to wear blue and orange? I'm from New England. I'm also very much not a sports person, but I'm so happy that everyone is happy about the sports fall championships. Really, I mean that. And anything that brings us together, I really celebrate that. Please send loving wishes that my 95-year-old sister-in-law may pass in peace. I'm holding this sister-in-law here. From Creations Magazine reminds us this card: "The sun shines. Playground children laugh. None are Democrats or Republicans." Congrats and blessings to my amazing young brother Brandon, who became engaged to his fiancée Amy yesterday after competing in a triathlon, like the absolute boss he is. I pray that someone in our government will try to restrain our president in his selfish behavior. Let's see. Someone in our government, or maybe we need to stop asking somebody else to fix it and do it ourselves. For the grace of forgiveness, says this card. Snix says this card. That's some bold font there. Thinking of my mom and working with my brothers to make sure that her final chapter is as full of love as her long life has been. And this card that says, "I pray for hatred to be removed from the heart or hearts of those who destroyed our LGBTQ flags we put on our lawn for Pride Month. Keep putting them out as we will. And keep putting love at the center in public is what we will do." Take a breath with me for all that we hold, all that we carry, all the love there is still to bring in and make public. And let's sing Spirit of Life, our beloved hymn, number 123. So friends, it's the time of the morning when we are going to do something that we call bridging in this congregation, and it's a ritual that we have for our young adults here. So it's that time. Evie Bergman and Thomas Thiek, if you'd like to come up and take your places of honor up here. You can sit right in these two chairs. Right now you can just sit and enjoy. Your time is coming. So if you're new here, and even if you're not, bridging is the ritual where a Unitarian Universalist community marks a young person's crossing from youth into young adulthood. Other traditions have some version of a life cycle ritual like this, be it a bar or a bat mitzvah or a confirmation or a quinceañera. Ours has roses in it that you'll find out about in a minute, and an invisible imaginary bridge you'll see in just a minute. There's no test. There's no script that one has to learn, because I find, this is my interpretation at least, that most of what our culture hands a young person at a threshold moment is graduation shaped. Graduation shaped. And graduations are fine. They are meaningful for people, and they represent a lot of work that goes into someone's life. But I want to be honest, at least in this space here in Unitarian Universalism, about what a graduation certifies, because a bridging is not a graduation. A graduation, in many ways, certifies this: you have completed the requirements. You have shown fitness. You have survived the regents, the applications, the folding chairs, and you are now certified potential workforce, market ready, useful at last. That's often what a graduation symbolizes. Now, of course, obviously, much more goes into the preparation that gets a person to that point. But here in this space, instead of just saying you may exit the institution's jurisdiction and enter the markets, we do something else. Because like I said before, otherwise there would be a very nice condo community on this property right now instead of us all sitting in this room. Bridging, on the other hand, certifies absolutely nothing on paper. There is no exam because you were never a product in development here. You arrived already mattering, already passing with flying colors, by the way, and nothing could ever change that. Nothing that the market says about you could ever change that. This is the gift, I think, of our faith, of Unitarian Universalism. It's what we offer each other. That we do not require each other to prove something to be worthy here. Now, nobody is also I want to say that nobody is releasing anyone this morning because nobody ever owned anyone here in this space. But there is something that changes today. What changes through this ritual that we do is the shape of a young person's belonging in Unitarian Universalism. You go from being youth of the fellowship on one side to young adults on the other side, but the door will never lock for you. It will always stay open. So here's how this works, and everyone in the room is in on it. In a few minutes, each of them will say some words to us, will share some thoughts with us, and then afterwards, they will cross this room from over here to over here. It's a very simple mechanical thing. There is no actual bridge. But there never is really a bridge, an actual bridge at life's greatest crossings, I find. Just 15 feet of cold, open floor that we have to cross in a room with people who love us nearby, hopefully. And that's what's going to happen in this room. Your job, by the way, all of you in this room, is one that you accepted, I think, in the top of this service by being here. Here in this community, one thing I like to say is that hope is a practice, and practice needs company. So you all are the company. Because witness, I think, is too polite a word for being involved in a ritual like this. It's company. You're involved, and you're needed. So first, before we do the bridging ceremony, we have some roses to give you, and you'll hear something about that from Joanne.
Oh, hi everybody. Nice to be here. I'm here representing the 3 facilitators for high school RE that I believe you guys have known for a really long time, because one is Thomas's father, Tim Thieck, one is Evie's mom, Rima, and I'm the other one. I'm Joanne Palaschetti. So, when you were dedicated at the fellowship, whenever we dedicate a baby, we hand the family a rose with the thorns shaved off. So that's the promise. When you're small, will soften the sharp edges of the world so that you can learn early that tenderness is every human being's birthright. And this community has kept that promise for generations. But today, the rose comes to you, the thorns still on.
Sorry, 1 second, excuse me. The reason that we leave them on is because that you can handle it now. At least you have to, because I'm not going to stand up here in 2026 and pretend that the world that you're entering into has no sharp edges. It does, and we can't fix that. But the people who started this place were stubborn optimists, I believe. And the generations that came after them, the ones that slid flowers down the barrels of rifles, found its way here and made home. So understand what a rose means in this context, in a room like this, of people like this. It has never been about decoration here. The flower is not decoration, it's an argument about what wins in the end, love, and about what we must make real in the world. And so let that be a reminder to you of something I hope that this place teaches you. Thomas, we're going to invite you to speak first. You both came up through this fellowship, but you get the pulpit first.
Hello, everybody. I'm Thomas. I was kind of struggling to figure out what I was going to say because I've just been here for so long. It's like, what do you say about a place that is just completely a part of you? And now I'm crying, but this is my 17th year here, and I've just learned so much, and I can't imagine the person I would be without this community. So just thank you so much for having me and welcoming me always.
When you are ready, if you want to stand, your childhood in this fellowship is on that side of the stage, and we welcome you to come over to this side when you're ready. Thomas made that look easy, but I know that it wasn't in many ways because it represents a childhood of learning and community. Evie, it's your turn now to come up and to speak to us.
Hi. Hi. I'm Evie. My religious experience has been very interesting because my parents go to two separate churches, and I've gotten to experience both types of congregations, both systems of worship. My father goes to an Episcopalian church, and I went through with the confirmation process there, and I don't regret any of my time I spent there, but the connection I feel to this place and this community, it's just so different. We don't tend to lead with doctrine here. We lead with love, and the way that's shaped my life and who I am and who I've come to be over the past few years has been really profound. I've never once not felt welcome in this space, I never have to worry about, not meeting standards of how much I'm able to give on any given day, which has meant a lot to me because I've been through a lot of weird shit. Probably not supposed to say that, but but yeah, the support I've gotten here through the years has really meant a lot to me, and I'm really grateful to be a part of this community. So excited to see what the new chapter brings.
I'm going to invite Evie will make the crossing in just a moment, don't worry. First Rima, Evie's mom, would like to say a few words, and then we have a special way that Evie is going to make the crossing.
My name is Rima. My pronouns are she, her. Every time Evie's gone through a transition, whether it's going off to preschool or first day of kindergarten or moving from elementary to middle school, etc., I was always very excited for her. Some parents were like, oh, it's so sad they're growing up. I was always very excited. And I am still very excited for this next chapter. But it's a little bit bittersweet because all those other transitions, we were close by. Her mom and dad close by, her grandparents close by. This one is bigger. You're going off into the big world, hours away from us. Yes, it's Rochester, but it's 6 hours away. So all I can say is how very proud your dad and I are of you. We know you've been through some crazy shit. And it's been hard as parents to watch your child struggle. I'm sure all of you who have had, loved ones in your life, whether that's your children or niece or nephew or good friends, it's hard. But we see you coming through to the other side, and we're so excited for you. Reverend Israel asked, or gave as a prompt, something that's quintessentially Evie. And I thought of many things about you picking your Halloween costume months in advance. We never had to buy a second one, always first decision. But one thing that really came to mind is in 3rd grade, you were in a spelling bee at school. And when you got up there and you were given your word, you said the word and then the letters came. Bum, 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 bum. No hesitation, no questioning, no anything. And we asked you about it. That's usually, I just see the word and I say it, right? Just that clarity and confidence. And I hope that follows you everywhere so that you always have clarity and confidence regardless of what. And I am so grateful as she is for this congregation's support in raising her, just watching that process unfold and feeling the support as a parent. And I'm very grateful for Christ Church for welcoming her and letting her go through that process. That's the one thing her father and I always wanted for her, is just to explore and find her own home, and she did. So thank you to everyone, and good luck. And we'll be there watching and supporting, even if it's a few hours away.
Okay, so the way that Evie is going to cross is something we're calling something called an angel walk. So we have 5 people, right? 5 people, if I'm counting correctly, who have been here with Evie through your time, your childhood growing up here, who are here to support you, who have been here with you through all the shit that you've been through. See, it's okay to... Sorry. It's okay. It's okay to be yourself. But yes, thank you. So we have 5 people who are here for you, okay? Who would like to come up, who are going to come up now for you. Can those 5 people please come up? Okay, they're going to line up, make a corridor, a canopy for you to pass through right here, okay? You want to do it right here, and Evie is just going to cross right behind the pulpit, okay? When you're ready, Evie. You can put that. About the gifts, Joanne. You're going to use this. Okay. Okay.
And so, Thomas, Evie, what's a party without a gift? And we have some things for you. Is Sandra around? Sandra is about to hand you these bread bags first. And the red ones. In the red bag, there's a small book called Becoming, and it's a small book, but it's full of wonderful readings and songs and poems. It's written exactly for the years that you're entering now. Reading for dorm rooms and first apartments, and the nights when you need a voice that understands. There's a chalice pendant in there for each of you also. So the symbol of faith can travel where you travel. And there's one more thing in there, and that's the hand-turned wooden chalice that you see a sample here. You each have one in the bag. That chalice, as Israel mentions, comes through one of our partner congregations in the Czech Republic. The Czech Unitarians gave us our tradition of the flower communion, which we'll hear more about next week and participate in. They kept the flame lit through the fascist occupation, through Dachau, through everything the last century did to them. And when we give one of these chalices to you in Huntington, it means that that fire crossed the ocean and a long history to reach your hands. So you know the instructions. Keep it lit, make room, pass on the love. And we can't let you go without a gift from this special congregation as well. Thomas knows what's coming because his three older siblings have had one. Sandra is about to hand you a gift from our UUUs. That's EWES, our UUUs, our knitting group. It is a handmade pillow with the chalice of our congregation on it, so that you can have it to decorate your dorm room and remind you that you're always there. So rest well, rest easily. We love you.
And lastly, we have to leave you with one more gift, just one more gift, which is really a blessing. And a blessing is just love said out loud, by the way. Love said out loud with witnesses. And so is a pride flag. Same technology. So what we're going to do now is Lee is going to offer you one blessing first, and then the congregation has a simple one to offer you as well.
So this blessing is entitled Prayer for Our Children, and was written by the UU minister, Reverend Dr. Robert Kaufman. We wish for you a storm or two, that you may enjoy the calm. We wish you darkness, that you may see the stars. We wish you anticipation of high adventure, and we wish you the courage to avoid battle. We wish you a sense of wonder and poetry and music. We wish you a friend who will understand you and understanding, so that you may have a friend. We wish you may become all that you wish to be, and more than you hope that you can be. We wish you a flower to smell, a hand to touch, a voice to cheer, a heart to gladden, and we wish you someone to love, as we love you.
To finish our bridging ceremony, I need your help with one very simple thing. I need you all to finish this blessing, to sign it, so to speak. So here's how it works. I am going to invite you all now, if you wish, to rise in body or in spirit. Twice this spring, if you've been here, you might have seen this community make one of its oldest promises to children, to babies. Here's a similar promise that we make at the other end of childhood to these two. And it's a simple question that I have for all of you. If you feel that you can answer, the response is simply, we do. And so if you'd like, place a hand on your heart and say we do when I ask this question, but you don't have to answer it. You don't have to say this if you don't want to. Do you commit to loving Evie and Thomas as the adults that they now are and to letting them become whoever they turn out to be? That's it. Signed. Witnessed. Thank you. Evie, I think you have a piece of music for us now, yes?
I don't really know what to say about this song. It's just kind of always been there, present throughout my life. It's one of my favorite songs by my favorite musician, and I just want to share it here. Good morning, Eloise. What they do? What has your country ever done for you? Stop mourning, Eloise. What did they say? Tomorrow, babe, is a brand new day. You've seen the fires in the west. Oh, yes. You've seen the liars on the movie sets. Now would you die for the mouths unfed? Oh, oh, Eloise. Good evening, Eloise. Where did you go? I hope to God not to the Lord's below. Stop grieving, Eloise. The world is free. Stop reading up on who we used to be. I've seen you publish all the lies, poor girl. I've seen rubbish that you cry over. How can you stomach all the dying world? Oh, oh, Eloise. Good night now, Eloise. I miss you lots. It's been so hard since the world forgot. I'll try now, Eloise, to change what's wrong. I'll try for you, and I'll write your song. You saw the trouble in my eyes. You saw the rubble, and you heard the cries. Oh, how I've crumbled now, my mind is gone. Oh, oh, Eloise.
just a minute, we're gonna take our offering. This is not a long sermon. This is not a sermon, by the way. I just want to say this to you too, Evie and Thomas. The world out there will tell you every single day that the person selling something beats the person tending something, as in tending real community, real love. You just spent, I think, your whole youth inside counter-evidence to the marketplace of the world. So if you ever wonder on some night, however many years or months it is in the future, on a hard night, whether there really is a love at the center of this messed up world, this messed up life that won't let you go, whether you believe that community and love really truly matter, remember this morning, the counter evidence that you spent your lives, your childhood inside. And remember this, that 5 people stood here with you and held their arms over you, that people stood here in this room and listened to you talk to them, witnessed, were company to your life, to a milestone in your life. And they did it in public, because that is what one of the things that love looks like in public when it shows up for people. So hold on, and when you need to feel that love again, you know the address, 109 Browns Road, Huntington. And to the rest of you here in this room, look at what we just built. Look at what you just built. A bridge out of nothing but floor and intention and community. A canopy out of arms. A blessing out of however many voices are in this room saying the same words on purpose. Every age tells you what it worships by what it builds. Every room does too.
Earlier on, Israel said that this fellowship is one thing that the market will never fund. And he's right. So here's how it gets funded instead. A basket that we pass from hand to hand every single week by people who decided that this place should exist. For this month of June, undesignated gifts are split with our partners CareCen, that's C-A-R-E-C-E-N, the Central American Refugee Center, which has worked alongside immigrant families on Long Island for more than 40 years, serving immigrants in both Nassau and Suffolk County. We're honored to have with us today 2 representatives, so I'd like them to come up, please. Julie Breitbart, who's the Manager of Development, and Eric Villalobos, who's the Legal Community Educator and Director of the Rapid Response Team. They will tell us about their organization. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Villalobos. I'm the Legal Community Educator for the Central American Refugee Center in New York. And I'm also a part of the Rapid Response Team. I work alongside a team of very powerful, informative community legal assistants, right? Not the director, but happy to be a part of that team.
And my name is Jolie Breitbart. I am the Manager of Development at CareCen, and
So we're honored to be here this morning and deeply grateful that CareCen has been chosen as a split plate recipient by the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Huntington. And at a time immigrants are facing escalating fear, hostility, and uncertainty, your support tells our clients, our staff, and our Long Island community that they're not alone. And before I get into this following point, I just want to briefly mention a little bit about CareCen's history, because it was founded in 1983 in a time when, unfortunately, the Reagan administration was not acknowledging a refugee crisis that was of their own doing. So there was an influx of Salvadorians, of Central Americans that were arriving during the early 1980s, and the Reagan administration was denying asylum applications, refugee status to these people that were gravely affected by the money that was sent to fund military death squads, to fund bombings in Central America at that time. And this is where Carecen was born, as the Central American Refugee Center. And that's why you see Carecens in all different parts of the country. But in New York specifically, Carecen focused on providing resources, providing services, providing advocacy, giving voice and giving powers to communities that were being thrown in the shadows at that time. And today, Carecen has now been on Long Island serving not just Central Americans anymore, but immigrants from all different nationalities, from all different parts of the world. And it's done this in both Nassau and Suffolk County. And its mission is simple and urgent, right? Meant to empower every immigrant on Long Island through legal services, through education, advocacy, and community support.
So this work takes many forms. Our legal team provides critical services for low-income immigrants, including consultations, representations, work authorization support, and other pathways towards safety and stability. Our community programs include English classes, citizenship classes, workforce development, and workshops on practical issues such as preparing taxes and accessing services. And our social work team works alongside families through some of their most difficult moments, offering support, referrals, and care in the middle of fear, trauma, and uncertainty.
So what makes Carecen's work powerful is that these services are connected. A person may come to us needing legal services, legal help, but they may also need English classes, a job pathway, mental health support, or help navigating basic systems. Our teams work together because our clients' lives are whole, complex, and human.
Every person has inherent worth and dignity should not depend on where someone was born, or what language they speak, what papers they carry, or how much money they have. It should already be theirs.
We all have a shared moral responsibility to protect and care for our Long Island community, beginning with those who are most vulnerable. Your generosity helps turn those values into action and keeps these essential services available for years to come.
So in a time when fear is quite loud, your generosity can be louder. It can say, you are not alone. You are worthy of care.
Your gifts make a real difference for...
I'm so sorry about that.
You're okay. Your gifts make a real difference for immigrant families all across Long Island.
So on behalf of everyone in Carecen, thank you for welcoming us into your homes today, standing with our community, and for helping us continue this work. So thank you very much.
And thank you, both Julie and Eric. The ushers will now pass the baskets while Dylan plays. If you don't have cash, you can also send a check to the office or give through the website or Zelle or PayPal. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for supporting the work that we do, both within and beyond these walls. Thank you.
I would say that we've spent our morning reflecting on the need to put love at the center. On our need to put love at the center of all that we do to counter what is happening out there. So one more time, let's try it a different way. Let's sing ourselves out by singing our closing hymn. Love will guide us. You can rise in body or in spirit to sing if you like. If you're standing, stay standing just for a brief moment. Last thing before our flame goes out. Can we go to the next slide? Okay, it says there, you see some words up there on the slide. I have something new for us to try this morning. Just humor me and say your half it's on the screen. Now, friends, I know that we've all probably clicked on the terms of agreement before fully reading them first, but I think you have time to read that one. Here's my closing for you. Our worship has ended. Got it. We extinguish our chalice flame, for our worship has ended, and our service begins. Go in peace.